And I think that the most, at least to me, the most important aspect is not really being addressed, and that's gender equality. I'm getting to a point where we have 50% women in our Israeli site is extremely important to me. And this is something that we've set a goal, me and our head of HR. You should talk to her. She's amazing. And we set together a goal to have 50% women, and it's something that we have more than the average here in SafeBreach, but we want to strive for more. We want to get to a point where we have more.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley, in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Hello, and welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Today, I am with Edos Yahav, Vice President of R&D and General Manager of Israel at SafeBreach. Edos is SafeBreach's Vice President of R&D and Israel's General Manager, and before that, he served as Mintigo's Vice President of R&D, which was acquired by Anaplan, where he led the development of the company's engineering and research groups. Prior to Mintigo, Edos was an engineer manager in Microsoft, working on several areas such as Telecom, Windows security, and Azure. Edos also has spent time in his career leading teams at several startups, mostly in networking and network security. Edos holds a B.Sc in computer science from the University of Bar-Ilan. Edos Yahav, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, I'm so excited. So excited to have you here. Edos, today you're Vice President of R&D, General Manager of Israel at SafeBreach, an incredible company in the cybersecurity, very deep tech research oriented. I have a lot of friends who work there and are just so, fulfilled with the work that I can't wait to hear a little bit about your, the leadership behind SafeBreach and what you're doing there, but even more broadly about general leadership within tech. Previously head of engineering, planning AI at Anaplan, and general manager and VP engineering at Mintigo, and manager within Microsoft, and VP R&D at Insightix. So, an incredible journey, a lot of leadership within tech. Did you know this was your calling to be an R&D leader throughout your career?
So, I don't know if calling is the word, but it's something I really aspired for. It's something I really enjoy doing. And I'm a firm believer that people should really do what they enjoy. It's extremely important, at least to me, aside from being a part of a group of people that really enjoy doing what they want, what they aspire to. And it can be anything from developing to marketing to sales, anything that gives you a spark and get you going in the morning. That's what's important. And all through, I've been really fortunate to have that through most of my career. At the beginning, obviously, there were small development positions in my area, and then I started to expand, becoming more of a technical owner in areas, and then I realized that I want to be part of the leadership in companies. After I left the army, I joined startups, and it was really much easier to make an impact in a smaller startup. But then at some point, I decided that I want to taste big corporate, and I wanted to join different companies. So I joined Microsoft, and Microsoft has been it's a large company, so it's a big corporate again, and you learn a lot. Your whole perspective about what it means to lead and what it means to own your deliveries, getting to a point where you really help people grow. It's something that's really focused alongside my career, and it's something that I really like doing. Mentoring people, helping people grow, and getting them, or sort of helping them focus on what they want to achieve in life and what's important to them. So that's been most of my journey so far. Aside from the technology, which is important and it's fun, but it's really people. At the end of the day, you really love the people that you work with. It does everything. And
so I think that you're
that's me.
setting the stage here for a very interesting conversation about people and how do you get people today, and how do you create a team that really is a superstar team filled with people that you want to work with. But a little bit before that, share with me a little bit about your thesis and your managerial style as an R&D manager. How do your meetings run? What is sort of your perspective on you're talking a lot about your role also to uplift people and help them achieve their goals. What is sort of your perception on that?
So it's a great question. The thing is that I do believe that you have to be part of the way people work. I mean, let's say that we have a meeting. I try not to be the one really running the meeting, but I want to have everyone owning the meeting, owning the outcome. It's really important, though, in meetings to have a set goal. We have tons of meetings in all of our companies. Looking back throughout the years, meetings have always been something that managers need and want, and engineers want to stay away from. But if you make meetings short, precise, and to the point, then it gets to be much less of a hassle and more of a way to get things done. And the way it works is that, or at least for me, it works for me, is that I help or organize and make sure that things are happening, but I'm not really the only one running the meeting. If I'm the only one talking in a meeting, then that's a bad meeting. And once you have everyone collaborating and working together towards a goal, and it doesn't have to be only in a meeting, it can be in anything, and they see what they want to achieve at the end, then it's really easy for everyone to really join forces and become one organized group, and that makes my job easier at the end of the day. So that's what I strive for.
So this is obviously more relevant once you have the team, but the challenge starts from a little bit before that. 2022. Yes, what is happening today? It's madness out there.
It is. It's definitely madness. It's really hard to get people on board. I mean, at the end of the day, what we want is people who see our culture, who see our belief, who see our goals, and they want to join in. They want to join forces, and they want to be part of something that we believe is going to be amazing, great, big, whole company. Not just a hype of a word, but really something that does something. We want to be able to. We are selling. We have a viable product. We have something out there. We want people who are going to be part of that. And it's really difficult because there's a lot of buzz around. There's a lot of hype about everything relating to not only cybersecurity but everything in the high tech space. And I think that the most, at least to me, the most important aspect is not really being addressed, and that's gender equality. I'm getting to a point where we have 50% women in our Israeli site is extremely important to me. And this is something that we've set a goal, me and our head of HR. You should talk to her. She's amazing. And we set together a goal to have 50% women, and it's something that we have more than the average here in SafeBreach, but we want to strive for more. We want to get to a point where we have more. So we're really putting a lot of effort into getting that done, trying to get to a point where we address those needs and become attractive for everyone. And it's really important.
How do you proactively go about doing that? I mean, a lot of people are talking about the gender equality and the gender gap, especially within tech.
Yeah.
How do you actually go about it making even the smallest proactive step into trying to promote this? Because it's so delicate on one hand, it's so complicated on the other hand. There's so much complexity in the chain, from education to social perception to eventually, creating a culture that allows it. How do you go about it?
So I think we start by one, making sure that the way we talk and the way we address people uh, is is in the address or in the realm of gender equality. We try not to create job descriptions that are not that are more male oriented. We don't want that. We want it to be general. We want people here inside SafeBridge to bring in friends. That's obvious. Every company does that. But what we do say, and we say that almost every week, bring your friends, and if you can, if they're female, then that's even better. We want that. We encourage that. We try to reach out to specific women groups. Obviously, some of them are more close towards women, so we try to have our female employees really involved and try to bring in others. I think it's something that they see as a really good opportunity for them to bring in more gender equality into the office and get us to a better place. I do believe that once we get into a more equal area, then we're really going to be a better company at the end of the day. Um, it's um, it's really something that we have been trying to scratch our heads and figure out what are the best ways to do this. There is no like magic stick. Okay, we're gonna just bring everyone and everything's going to be great. It's something really you need to work hard in. You need to make sure that when people scan for CVs, they don't bring in some people that they think are more like them only. Obviously, we do want people to bring their friends, but we want a very diverse society here in SafeBreach. It's really important for
Right.
us. I believe it's going to make us much, much better.
What's the differentiation in today's market for candidates, the people that you're onboarding that are joining the team? If you're putting yourself in their shoes of those that are considering where to go, where is the differentiation really taking place?
So SafeBreach is really in a unique position. We are a company that's really been selling to the highest companies out there, the biggest and best companies out there, ranging from insurance to finance to telcos, automotive, everything. And what we do is we help everyone in the company become part of that process, be it in sales or so we have engineers helping sales or being part of sale processes, or customer success. We're really involved there. And the entire customer journey is something that our engineers are part of. And it's really important to have everyone on board. I mentioned that before. I mean, once you have everyone striving towards the same goal, and we've got the same goal, we want to make, and we can talk about what SafeBreach does, but once everyone understands what SafeBreach does and we want to enable that for our customers, then everyone just wants to make that happen. And they can come up with ideas on how to better help them, which features are going to be relevant there, and what technologies to use, which are going to be more relevant for what we're up against. So the entire journey is really in the hands of our engineers, and it's really different. I mean, than what different maybe small startups or extremely large companies offer. In a small startup, you definitely you don't see these kind of customers. And in large companies, you usually don't have that much of an impact. So we're really in a unique position to offer both. And that's on top of the usual. Everyone's working, or everyone says that they're working with the top technological stack and all of that, and they're the best researchers and best everything. So when I say that we are working with the top technological stack and bleeding edge and everything along that, that's fine, and it's true, but it's not a differentiator. At the end of the day, the differentiation, at least in my mind, comes from what you do and how you impact everything around you. And that's why SafeBreach is an amazing place. That's
tell me a little bit about SafeBreach and I know that you're doing some incredibly interesting research. I know bits and pieces from stories from my friends that they would tell me over a beer. But what is SafeBreach's mission in the world, and where are you positioned today?
Excellent. So an area called breach and attack simulations was formed mainly by SafeBreach's founders. This is an extremely important area in which companies understand what's going on in their security ecosystem. For example, CISOs all around the world, they received a lot of money in order to purchase a lot of software in order to make their companies not susceptible to attack, which is nice,
right.
and they do that, and everyone's happy. But at the end of the day, when something goes wrong in the world, the log4js in the world or any other CVE that you can think of, and they do happen. When these come out, when they are asked, are we in the clear? Are we okay? They don't know. They don't know for sure. And that's where we come in. We actually do the tests, do the entire scenario. We try to think as if hackers do in order to assess the completeness of your solution. And there are several layers. One is we try to figure out whether it's possible or not to do, any type of attack. And then there's another area of figuring out whether what you purchased in order to stop those types of attacks from happening, whether those are the runs that have been configured correctly to be stopping that. So we have that in place as well. And as far as we're concerned, when you look at the outputs of what we do, you have a complete, more holistic idea of where you are. And you can decide what you want to do with that information. Do you want to prevent people from accessing your extremely important database? That's important. Maybe you don't really care if someone accesses a different area. That's okay. But it's something that you need to be aware of once you install all of your network securities and other security measures. And right now, what they do is they install it, they configure it. It's supposed to be doing what they thought they do, but it's hope, and hope's not really a strategy. At the end of the day, you really need to know, and that's where we come in, and we provide you with that information. And there's one really, really important thing that SafeBreach does really, really well, and that's the ability to respond to ongoing threats that come in, and they come in all the time. We have an SLA, 24 hours, it's usually much less, when a CV comes out, and then our amazing researchers, they come in, they assess the information, and they are able to use our proprietary technology in order to provide customers with the relevant playbooks that help them figure out, are they susceptible to this or not. And that's really important. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what the customers need, they want, and that's where we are.
Wow. It sounds like both the variability of the variance in the types of things that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, coupled with the very quick feedback loop that you would get from customers, being very attentive to the the immediate actions that you can take to help them in a crisis situation. And I'm sure that that there's products that give a delightful moment when people want it or feel like it. There are other products that help customers or help companies emerge from a crisis situation, and I'm always inspired to by companies that are helping mitigate some of these things that a lot of people also don't. A lot of entities don't really know how to understand and don't even know how to tackle themselves. And so I think it's extremely interesting what you're doing with SafeBreach. And again, I have so many great friends that that are there and that have such a great time. So thank you very, very much for taking the time to come here. I do have another question for you, and I want you to go back a little bit, a really long time before you were an engineer, before all of these incredible positions. Middle school, 7th grade. What are you curious about? What's your passion during that time of your life?
It's going to be really a bit cheesy. I think computers. I have to say
at 7 years old?
Yeah, not 7. You said 7th grade. 7 years old or 7th grade?
No, 7th grade. You're right.
7th grade. So yeah, 7th grade. Yeah. But mainly because I think that looking back, I mean, these are such versatile instruments that allow you to do so much. And it was really fascinating to me. I mean, it was really amazing that you can get so much done. Obviously, play computer games, but also get work done on them, and words and everything. Write books, all that stuff on a single instrument. It was amazing to me.
I love it. Edo, thank you so much for taking the time to join me here. I really appreciate it, and continue doing amazing things with SafeBreach and anywhere else. And thank you very much for the last 20 minutes of inspiration. I appreciate it.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.